What's up? I'm Axell Hodges, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a nose wheelie on a dirt bike. Or a stoppie, whatever you want to call it. Step 1, you're going to need a dirt bike. Preferably a Kawasaki KX450. What I look for in a bike is I want a disc brake on the front, because a disc brake is going to have the best bite and just best drag for you to be able to grab the brake and just maintain a good nose wheelie. Right now, I'm going to tell you how to get your back wheel up in the air and get your bike into a nose wheelie. So before we get into this, I recommend you're going to want to get a fresh pair of these new Sleiko riding gloves that are dropping in April. So I hope April. That's what we're planning on. So to initiate the nose wheelie, the first thing you want to do is grab that front brake. You got to give it a little tug to get the grip, to get the bite, to get your back tire up in the air. And as soon as your back tire's in the air, you want to release it just a tad and kind of feather it to get that roll speed to just, your brake is like halfway engaged and it still just has a barely enough grab to keep your back wheel in the air, but that's where speed's your friend. The faster you come into the nose wheelie, the longer you're going to be able to go. No matter what, you are on the brakes doing a nose wheelie, which means you're on the brakes, you're slowing down no matter what. So the more speed you have into the nose wheelie, the farther you're going to go, and that just comes with time. You just got to kind of practice that initial grab and just being able to have the brake control to feather the brake. And if it's coming down, that's when you want to give it a little bit of those grabs, but not too much. You just got to kind of play with it and feather it, and the more you do it, the more, I promise you, you will get the feeling down of the front brake. But like with everything, it takes practice. One finger or two fingers, it doesn't matter. You just want to be able to get that right pressure to be able to even out that flow of the back wheel coming up and down, and not giving it too much brake to where you're going to go over the bars, and not letting go of the brake to where it's going to let the back wheel fall. So you want to get that initial tug, feather it, and roll away. So for a nose wheelie, you usually want kind of a downhill. The downhill is going to help you get on that front brake, get the back tire in the wheel easier, and it just kind of will pull you down the hill more, which will make it easier to keep your momentum of making a longer nose wheelie. So a downhill is a great way to learn a nose wheelie, and if you can't get that back wheel up because you got no traction or whatever, a speed bump, a 2x4, or whatever kind of bump you can find to get that back wheel to kick up in the air will help you a lot to get into that initial nose wheelie and getting that pressure on your front tire of sticking to the ground and riding a nose wheelie. Right now I'm going to start off by just kind of watering this dirt right here, because without water there's no traction in this dirt, and when you go to grab the front brake you will wash out, slide, and that's how you crash. So you want traction for a nose wheelie. So I'm gonna do a little pass, get some water going, and I'll show you how to do it. Yeah, babe, what are we filming?
How to on a Stoppie!
How to do a nose wheelie? Finally, brother! Now that I got the perfect amount of moisture in the dirt, it's time to get on the bike and do some nose wheelies. Or stoppies, whatever you want to call them. It's kind of like an oppo or a turn up. I call it turn up. Now that we got that handled, let's go over body positioning.
Body positioning.
For body position, you want to come into the nose wheelie, either you're standing up or sitting down. Usually I prefer to be kind of standing up over the back, and that way as you transfer your weight forward and get on the front brake, your body weight is moving forward and you're putting all your body weight and pressure on the front tire, which is causing the front wheel to just stick to the ground better, and just you got a lot better traction of starting the nose wheelie. So like I said, you want to kind of start coming to the nose wheelie on the back of the bike, either kind of sitting down or a little squat, and then as you hit the front brake, you want to transfer your body weight forward and get your front wheel to stick and apply brake and pressure, and hope your back wheel comes up and you don't go over the bars. If you are going over the bars and you feel you're going that way, you want to let go of your front brake and do everything you can to lean back. And if you go over the bars, I say it is better to bail and get away from the bike. You don't want to go straight over and have that bike smash you. If you're going over, it's the best to jump to either side and just tuck and roll. Don't go to your forehead, don't go to your back, just kind of go to your shoulder and try to roll out of it and roll out in time so the bike doesn't tackle you and burn you with the exhaust pipe. Because trust me, I know from experience, and it hurts. As you're throwing your weight forward and you get all your weight on that front wheel, you get your nose wheelie up. You want to keep your nose wheelie, you want all of your front wheel on the front tire, but you don't want to go over the bars. So what do? You put your nuts on the gas tank. So as you get your weight forward, you got all the pressure on your front tire and you're in the nose wheelie. Where's your body at? Are you over the front leaning forward to keep it up? Are you right here? You're right here? When you get the nose wheelie up, you want to be as far up on the bike as you can, but leaning back. So you have your weight on the front tire, but you're leaning back. So your weight transfer and balance is still straight up and down. You're not leaning forward where your momentum's taking you forward where you're going to crash. You want to be sitting on the gas tank, kind of leaning back. That way you got your weight on the front, but you're leaning back to where you're not going to fall over the bars and crash. As you get better, it is a lot easier to sit down on the gas tank and transferring your weight forward that way, doing a nose wheelie. But as you get better, you'll be able to, depending on the traction of your front wheel, kind of stand up, doing a nose wheelie, and more play around and feel that traction on your front tire to where you don't have to be on the gas tank every single time. So, oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention to finish the nose wheelie, all you got to do is let go of that front brake and ride away, and you're styling. So once you have the nose wheelie mastered, you can start doing tricks like putting it on the stand, hitting manual boxes, and even landing jumps in a nose wheelie. If you found this video helpful, comment down below what you want to learn next, and I'll make another how-to video. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, and I want to see your guys' progress. DM me your nose wheelie videos at Axell Hodges on Instagram, and I'll check it out. Maybe even get a repost.